You've seen the top armies, now it's time for the bottom armies.
Oh dear.
Let's get into it.
So on this episode, we're talking about our least favourite Age of Sigmar armies. How do you feel about that?
Not great, because I don't want to assign least favourite to any of these armies, if I'm honest, because there's still some units in there that are so cool.
It is really difficult. I do feel like with the 40k ones, I was like, no, these armies I generally don't like.
Yeah, there's only one on this list that I think I would say that I don't like. I don't like.
Yeah.
And that'll be the bottom one. But
yeah, it's tough.
Everything else, like we both had it earlier, going through the Warhammer.com, not GamesWorkshop.com anymore, because new website. Just going through that list, you're like, well, I kind of like this unit.
Yeah.
I kind of like this one.
It was difficult.
The way I did it was like, well, I'm going to scroll through. How many units can I say on that page that I don't like?
Yeah, exactly right. So jumping straight in, what is your number 5?
Number 5 for me is the Maggotkin of Nurgle.
Okay, interesting. Because there are some wonderful models in there.
Yeah, so I love the Great Unclean one.
Okay.
And I feel horrible putting the army as a whole here. But for me, the unit that I just really can't get over is the Slugs.
Oh, the Beasts of Nurgle.
Yeah, the Beasts of Nurgle. They look like something out of like over in the UK where I have like CBBS and everything. It looks like something out of that.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, did you play Darktide in the end?
Yeah, I played Darktide.
So did you ever fight the Beasts of Nurgle on
No,
Darktide?
I didn't go that far.
I tell you what, if anybody that's played Darktide, Poxwalkers and Beasts of Nurgle, totally different when you play that game. Good grief. But yeah, that's really interesting. I think out of the 4 Chaos factions, like the 4, like Khorne, Tzeentch, Nurgle, whatever, I don't think they'd be at the bottom for me.
Well, we're going to find out in a minute, aren't we?
Oh, you don't know whether... Oh, they might... Oh, okay, maybe I'll just jump in. Fair enough.
But yeah, to the Maggotkin of Nurgle, I think it's just... And some of the other characters, I think, as well, they're just a bit icky.
Icky?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I love Death Guard.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. I think my top 5 feels really harsh. And to be fair...
bottom 5.
Oh, yeah, that's what I meant. Bottom 5. Yeah, so my number 5 feels really harsh.
Just go into it. What is it?
It's Slaves to Darkness.
Okay.
This was brutal because I don't think... Yeah, I definitely don't think it's a bad team. Like, there are some units in there that are really cool, like Lord Eternus or whatever he's called on the horse.
Eternus is wicked.
Yeah, he's really sweet. There are some really sick little units in there, but I think... generally speaking, that they just don't grab me at all.
They very nearly ended up in my bottom 5, but the one model for me that pulled them out is Archaon on the undivided Chaos Dragon.
Oh, I've made a mistake. I've forgotten about him. Oh my goodness me! And
wonderful miniature.
And Be'lakor.
And Be'lakor.
This has gone horribly wrong.
Well, to be fair, I didn't chalk Be'lakor in there because I was like, he's demons.
Yeah,
but
I think for me it's like just the warriors, the chosen, the ogroids. I was just like,
they don't have like
they're just fine. They just
don't have enough as much flavour as like Chaos Space Marines. I think when you're going against the 2 poster boy Chaos factions.
Yeah, I don't know. I just don't get it. I think then. Obviously, I understand everything is someone's cup of tea. These just aren't mine.
Yeah.
What's your number 4?
Sons of Behemat.
Oh, yeah.
So the ogre, what are they?
Yeah.
Mega Gargant things.
Yeah, Gargants. Yeah.
Don't get it.
Yeah, that's right.
I felt like you got one, and then you're like, "This is cool," and I was like, "It's not."
Wow,
it's still just a man baby.
Yeah. See, I really like the Mega Gargants. The normal Gargants, I'm not crazy about.
No, it's just like the King Broad one. It just doesn't do it for me. I wouldn't want to paint them because there's so much flesh.
There's a lot to. I mean, as we found out in our
there's
challenge.
a lot to get through.
Yeah.
And I think maybe it's because there's only 5 kits in that whole range. I think maybe that goes against it.
It's certainly
as well.
easy to make an army, that's for sure.
We just buy 3 of them.
Yeah, and maybe a little bit more, but yeah, it is crazy. The Mega Gargant kit, just as far as options are concerned, I have a box full of bits, like just things I haven't used, and there's so much to them. it's just the Gargans. You know what I think as well? I don't think they're scary enough. If they went like an Attack on Titan route, where everything is like super terrifying, I'd be like, oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense.
My problem is, right, is the more I really like the more tribes, which are like smaller ogre things, aren't they?
Oh, sure.
But because they're riding mammoths, they're like, no, that's cool. I think if you had like a Mega Gargant riding something, then I'd be like, oh, this is kind of cool.
What on earth would you have that a Mega Gargant could ride?
A bigger mammoth.
That would be insane.
I know exactly what he could ride. He could ride the Mummock.
Okay. But that's not in...
Doesn't matter, Kibash!
Okay. I just feel like it would be insane, the sizes of the two of them.
Yeah. But if you can make it work, you make it work.
Logic's airtime, sure. Checks out.
What's your next one?
Okie dokie.
What's this?
Number 4.
Number 4, yeah.
Number 4, we're only at number 4. So my number 4 is actually Fire Slayers.
Wrong.
Okay. It's Fire Slayers.
Angry Ginger Dwarves.
Yeah,
cool.
I think for me it's because I haven't seen anything.
They're all very samey. They've all got orange hair.
Yeah, they are, and I don't get it. It's the same thing. You know what? Armies like this, I really want to like, and Magma Dragons and stuff are wicked, but there's only one Magma Dragon. I think there's not like an array of like cavalry or like anything. It's all just like foot soldiers and a Magma Dragon. So I don't.
Yeah.
For me, there's not enough versatility, I suppose.
I think they'll get some more stuff though.
I imagine they will, and you know what? Like their Kill Team box that came out when they had like foot soldiers, but then like a baby Magma Dragon. I was like, this is cool. This is a cool thing.
Are they a newer faction then in the whole Sigmar verse?
It's me. But I mean, we're both quite new to Sigmar, so maybe you know. So you should probably tell us. If I'm wrong, which I probably am.
They'll tell you on YouTube if you're wrong.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, please do. Welcome it. Because that's why we're here. But yeah, no, I just think they're fine. And I think because everyone paints them the same way, I'm like... You know what I mean?
Yeah, I just quite like the concept of dwarves, if I'm honest.
Yeah, I don't know. Not my thing.
Like World of Warcraft, I always play a dwarf.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh no, don't get it.
Dwarf Paladin. My number 3 is a Sigmar. Which was quite funny because when you did the top video and you were like, yeah, these are cool, I was like,
wow, alright, okay, why?
Don't like the peoples.
You have like a real aversion to people, like in life and in Warhammer, don't you? You're just like, actually, this kind of sucks.
I just, like, the Manticore is phenomenally cool.
Yeah.
I don't like the cannons with the big shield in front. I don't like the steel helms. They're just...
It's not you at all.
They just really don't do it for me.
Yeah, fair enough.
It's not like 40k. We're like, no, I hate this. It's just they just don't do it for me. I don't feel connected to peoples.
Yeah, I want to be like surprised, but I'm not.
Yeah.
You know what? At first I was like, oh, no way, but now I'm like, oh, maybe it's just people he hates. My number 3, going on your. This is a double dwarf. It's Caradron Overlords for my number 3. I think the concept is cool. I just don't think I like them. The range is nice enough. Like it's like steampunk dwarfs in blimp ships and stuff, and I'm like, it's a cool concept and it's a cool faction. And truthfully, I haven't really got anything wrong with the army. There's a theme in this bottom 5, but I just think. Yeah, I just don't get it.
So they're your number 3.
They're my number 3.
So I'm going to chime in now because they're my number 2.
Really? No, that's interesting.
It's the balloons.
They're like metal balloons as well, aren't
Metal
they?
balloon things, the weird ship things. It's not for me. And I really like dwarves, and for me to put a dwarf faction that low, it's just.
Because I remember when they gave him the name. What was he called? Drecky Flint was like the character, and
it's
I was
kind
like,
of cool.
And I was like, all right, do they have more? And then I looked and no, and I was like, oh, so where's the flavour here, or is this the flavour?
They're just a bit too. I guess they're quite weird. Like floating dwarves on hot air balloons. It's just a bit too weird.
We're two guys in our 30s talking about plastic men on the internet. We're like, wow, that's weird. Yeah, sure, checks out. Yeah, no, I think they're a very, very strange range, and I don't think I would ever. I think we're saying the same thing. We're saying the same thing.
So we've done my number 2. So now we're on to your number 2.
My number 2 is Beasts of Chaos.
See, I debated putting these ones in here. They purely didn't because I didn't really have any feelings in general for them. Like I was like, some of this looks alright, some of this.
I think they're just again, it's one of those armies that the potential is massive. Like they could be phenomenal, and I know that there's like a lot of old world minis in here, like very fantasy fueled. I know they're still massive in that sort of setting. I just think whenever there's been an opportunity to get like a updated, so for example, like we got the Felgor Beastmen for Kill Team last year.
That was a cool little kit.
Yeah, for sure. And I just think if you'd had the Beastmen kits in like more dynamic poses and like an update with like some more detail, I just think they'd look phenomenal. But because it's such a potato range to me, I just don't get it at all.
That Kill Team box could be a good sign of things to come. Maybe they're going to get a bit more, and maybe there'll be another split faction across 40k and AoS. Maybe.
Maybe I don't know. I just think the potential is massive. Like having like huge like raging bulls and like crazy like culty beast men and stuff, because they released. You know what's really bizarre is that the terrain piece for Beasts of Chaos, like the rock that's in the shape of a bull, that's like one of my favourite terrain bits in Sigmar, but it just doesn't sort of transpire to the rest of the range for me.
No.
So I'm just like, oh no, yeah, I don't know, I don't get it. And you know what? If you're into Beasts of Chaos and you think that I'm wrong, like
tell us why we're wrong.
Yeah, tell us why, because I'm curious. Like I just don't get it. Maybe it's the lack of nostalgia for me. I just like, I don't know, it just looks a bit poopy. But yeah, what's your least favourite army?
So I know we're the same, so we'll say it at the same time on the count of 3. 3, 2, 1.
Stormcast. Joking. It was Skaven.
Skaven.
Don't get it.
I live in the moors, so we have a lot of mice and rats around here.
This is such a weird start. And then, go on.
Mice and rats will get in anywhere. So like my house is like, I remember one year we had they got in the loft somehow, and it felt like we were under siege by rats in the roof, and I was just like, I hate this. And then there's a bloody Warhammer range that they're literally there. I think my main aversion to Skaven is that I don't like rats and I don't like mice.
Right, okay, so just so I'm crystal clear, you don't like it for personal experience reasons, not within the hobby.
Oh, I don't like the miniatures either.
the miniatures I can give or take.
But again, they're rats and mice.
Yeah, I don't understand, and I think again it stems back from that like fantasy old world setting where people are like, oh, Skaven are the bomb or whatever. I just don't get it. Like because even like some of the like underworld sets that they've done, I think look better. I do think they look better. And knowing that there's like a refresh on the horizon potentially, I don't know. But for the moment, for me, it's a firm. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think. I think they could have the coolest miniatures ever, and I don't think they would climb out of the bottom 5 for me just because of my personal feelings for rats and mice.
So is it like a?
I'm not scared of them at all.
No, I wasn't going to say it's like hatred. You just hate them.
I don't know. It's not even a hatred. It's just I don't like them.
Just go away.
Just stop it.
Have you ever played against somebody with Skaven?
No, because I've never played a game of Warhammer Fantasy.
That's true.
Or Age of Sigmar, but I've seen them in the flesh, and I'm just like,
yeah,
they can fit through the small size of a pencil.
Yeah, it's fascinating, isn't it? Yeah, I do think rats are like really interesting animals, but
they're not.
Do you not think?
Have you ever seen one in the flesh that isn't in a garden centre?
Yeah. I saw one once that I thought was a cat, and I was like,
I've seen it. Just really funny. So where we live, the nearest McDonald's. So I got back late one night. I don't know where I'd been. Came out the drive-through, and then a rat the size of a cat ran across the road. I was like, well, I guess I'm not hungry anymore.
So, well, no more nuggies for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's yeah. No, I don't know what it is. Skaven. Poor Skaven.
I think they're the only one out of this bottom 5 that I have strong feelings for. Where if you compare that to the 40k one, we were animated from like number 5 onwards.
And top. So
And
both top
top.
and bottom, we were just like, no, you're wrong.
Yeah,
Whatever.
this
was a really interesting ranking system, I think, that we've done with Sigmar. I think it just goes to show how good the system is in general when every single army generally is pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's really, really hard to come by, and I think that the design team specifically have done
Age
an amazing
of
job.
Sigmar, I think when you remove the shackles of this has to fit in a sci-fi setting, and designers can run away with things. That's when Sigmar really shines. We will do a tiered version of this, which would be would we like to paint them?
Yeah, that would be great.
I'm telling you now, Skaven are going to be in the nope section.
Nope.
Don't
Which is really interesting considering the new launch box sounds like it's going to be that.
We don't believe rumours ever, but you see things on Twitter and everyone's that's what people are saying.
Yeah, people have run away with Skaven now. They're just like, it's going to be this.
I love it when people are wrong with rumours though.
What else would it be? If you had to pick a launch box for Age of Sigmar 4th edition, what would you pick? Stormcast and
Sylvaneth.
But they're both Order factions.
Doesn't matter. Then I get both sets of miniatures.
Oh, okay, that checks out.
Well, what would you pick?
Sure.
Actually, it's not going to happen because they've already had their reshape. But Slave to Darkness, maybe that could be cool.
Alright, fair enough.
What would you pick? Obviously, Stormcast has to be in there.
I'd quite like to see an updated Beast of Chaos.
That could be cool.
Just see what it would look like. Just imagine like this barren, like wasteland
Of goat mens.
I think that would be really cool. But I don't think it will happen. If it did, I'd be like, fair enough, let's do it.
I'm really interested to see what does come in the box. If it is Skaven, then you're painting them, not me. Can't hope it's not Skaven and it's just going to be something left field because, like I said, we do like it's amusing when rumours are wrong.
Yeah, it's funny. People just run away with it. And you're like,
I remember like it used to be like it hasn't happened for a while, but I remember like used to see on like comments throughout the live streams they're like, but where's this? And then you could just see that someone at Games Workshop was like, we never said this was coming.
It would always be like something really niche as well. It'd be like, oh, I really wish I had this model that I've wanted since I was like 5, and it's like nobody's ever given that indication.
When are you going to show this off? And I imagine someone at Games Workshop's just like, we're not making that. Stop it.
Charles from Scunthorpe wants this. Just like no. Yeah. Apologies if you asked Charles from Scunthorpe. Didn't know that you're a person until now. But yeah, no, thank you so much for your support. As always, give us a like, comment, and a subscribe. And a huge thank you to all of you members. Both on...
You're either here or here.
Both
depends where
both
editing
sides.
me puts them.
Exactly right. So with Patreon, with YouTube badges and members, it's all very exciting. Thank you very much for your support. All of your hard-earned monies go towards making this content even better than before.
If you want to join us, hit literally the join button on the bottom of this video. And if you don't want to give Google Bezos, whoever it is that owns Google now, you can join us on Patreon. You'll get exactly the same benefits as you do over here on YouTube.
Absolutely right.
Whatever your flavour is.
It's been a dream.
And check out our affiliate links down below if you want to buy a backlog.
Don't buy Skaven. And we will love you, leave you. See you next time. Bye. Another video on the Kieran Show, and we are talking about Age of Sigmar once again. Are you ready?
Yeah. Bottom feels...
Bottom feels? Keep that in there.
No!
Amazing.
Start again.
No, that's hilarious.
No, I'll put it at the end.
Bottom feels.
Back to normality. Assigning the word bottom to any Age of Sigmar.
Bottom feels.
3, 2, 1.
So we're talking about the bottom 5. Oh dear.
Oh dear.
This has not gone well.